Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we are continuing our series where we are trying to beat Elden Ring as Soldier of Godric. If you're enjoying this series, please make sure to subscribe and like this video. That would really help me out a ton. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this episode. In the last episode, we defeated Malekith, Placidusax, and Gideon. I did mention in the last episode that I wanted to beat Fortisax, which I didn't know where he was, but I did end up finding and looking up how to reach this area, which is the Siofra riverbank. I probably butchered that really badly, but I really love this area. I know I mentioned this in the video where I defeated Mimic Tier, but I just think it's like so beautiful down here. However, I don't like the Crucible Knights, so it was my mission to murder them. Every single one that I saw, I wanted to absolutely demolish them. The current build that we're running is just a straight strength build with the Lordsworn's Greatsword and the Royal Knight's Resolve Ash of War. But now we're getting into pretty much the guards for the area to get to Fortisax, which is the Valiant Gargoyle duo. Now, I don't like duo fights, and I especially don't like the Godskin duo. I hate the Godskin duo, but this duo fight really wasn't too bad. Now, am I over leveled for this boss fight? 100%, absolutely. But it wasn't that bad. I have fought them before. I had no idea that there was an area that you can go to after defeating them. But when they do their little mist attack is when they get really annoying. But after defeating them, I ran around for forever trying to figure out where to go. And who would have thought you had to get into a coffin to get to the next area? Like, who thought of this? I know you have to do this for Ronnie's questline, but I had no idea you had to do it yet again. Which I'm pretty sure you have to do it in the DLC too. So that's 3 times in Elden Ring when you have to get in a coffin and seal yourself away to even get to the next area. Like, whose character is even doing that? That's so weird. Like, who gets in a coffin and seals it up? Like, how would you even open that up from the inside? Anyways, we get to this next area and I see a tree avatar, and I decided it kind of looked at me funny, so I needed to kill it because no tree avatar deserves to live. And then he killed me, but that's okay because I got my get back and I murdered him after he killed me. This area was pretty confusing. I kind of just ran around in circles until I found out where to go. But eventually I got on the right path and made my way to the finger lady who talked about Godwin, which I really don't understand the lore, so I guess that's important somehow. But then I found yet another specimen to murder, the Crucible Knight. The only knight that can be left standing is me. I'm Soldier of Godric. I'm the only knight that should be left standing. Good thing for me though that I'm pretty overleveled for this fight because I'm really bad at the Crucible Knight fights, so I was able to actually defeat him and not die. I do get the Crucible Knight armor set here, so I think that could actually be a really cool playthrough idea, is to play through as a Crucible Knight. Now, after like 10 minutes, I finally found this area to fight Fia's champion. And I thought this boss fight was actually going to be pretty easy after almost one-shotting the first guy and like dealing insane damage to Rajier. But once the 3 Stooges come out is when this fight actually gets kind of hard. I don't die, but I get down to 1 flask before even killing one of them. I am overleveled for this entire area, so this is kind of just sad on my part. But I struggled with even damaging these guys because they kept rolling away from me and then overwhelming me with spells. The whole thing was just pretty frustrating to me. I was just like, you gotta stop spamming these spells at me. I'm just trying to run away. But eventually, I get them all taken care of, and I go and talk to Fia. This is where I screw up big time. Because, you know, in real life, I have a girlfriend, and so obviously I don't want to be held by another woman, and since she even offered that, I murdered her on sight because that's just the right thing to do, obviously. Well, unbeknownst to me, after murdering Fia, you can't enter the place for Fortisax. Why would they do that? Like, what are they gonna do for the people that aren't single and don't want to be held by Fia? Like, can you just not enter Fortisax? If anyone knows of any way that I can actually do this boss fight without having to reset the game, please let me know. But now we're heading over to Ronnie's area to fight Estelle for another Remembrance boss. I kind of got lost looking for Estelle and got locked in a room with a rock, which is more annoying than you think because I just died to it. But then I found an area with all these stupid silver tears that just kept spawning out of the ceiling. And then was in there with the rock again. But then I found this legendary talisman, I guess. I guess it was worth it. I then found the lift for where I could go down to continue Ronnie's quest line and kill my friend Blyde. I was kind of sad when we had to murder him. I don't really know why. I thought he looked cool, and he's just a cool character in general, but hey, we had to kill him. Then we get to an area that I hate. I know I get a lot of comments saying that I hate a lot of stuff, but this place is like, it's like totally unnecessary. Why do I have to run through this whole area while constantly dying? I know there's a spell or whatever that you could use to get rid of that flame cleanse me, but I'm a man. I'm just gonna run through there and take it. But eventually we get over to the area where, yet again, for the second time in this video, you gotta get in a coffin to get to the boss fight, Estelle. Estelle is really not that bad, especially since we're over leveled, I think. So we're gonna do pretty good damage to Estelle. Really not that hard of a boss fight. I remember my first time fighting Estelle, it took like 10 tries maybe, and I was pretty underleveled. I've never really had a hard time with Estelle. The only thing that I thought was kind of annoying was that I never broke the posture of Estelle until like the very last hit, like right here, boom, broke the posture, and you get to stab him straight in the cranium for the final hit. But now it's time to move into the next Remembrance boss for this episode, Godfrey. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, I suck at the Godfrey fight. For some reason, I have just such a hard time figuring out when to dodge and like figuring out his attack moveset. For some reason, it just does not click in my head at all. Now, I did not struggle as much as I thought I was going to against Godfrey. Now, it did take about 20-25 attempts, but I didn't really struggle as much as I thought I was going to. But he just does a combination of fast and slow attacking moves that I just could not wrap my head around it for some reason. Now, my main plan was against Godfrey was to break his posture, and that did not exactly work for a while. Eventually, I do kind of figure out how I had to fight his first phase to break his posture and get into his second phase without taking much damage. And I actually end up no-hitting his first phase. Now, my only problem was I could not get his second phase down for the life of me. But I'll let you watch as I demolish him in a no-hit run for his first phase and then defeat him in the second. after that extremely close call with Godfrey, we are then going to move on to another boss so that we can get to the Halig Tree. Commander Niall. Now, I did look up how to make his summons attack him with the Bewitching Branch, which is honestly such a lifesaver. I love that thing so much with all of my heart. I love the Bewitching Branch. Thank you for putting that in the game. But while Niall is working on killing his own summon, I will get rid of his stupid shield dude and then fight himself in a fair 1v1 and not use any stupid summons. Now, I am not very familiar with this fight other than I knew that he used summons and I knew there was a way to make them attack him. So I really just wanted to use that tactic. My sword is all the way plus 25, so it's going to do a ton of damage to him. And I'm like level 60 strength, so it's really not a problem at all. And all I had to do was worry about his quick lightning attacks with his foot, like that right there. Other than that, this fight really wasn't too bad. I just kind of struggled with dodging his big lightning stomps. But again, my sword just did more damage than he kind of did to me, so it really wasn't that big of a deal. So after defeating him, we move and get the other half of the Halig Tree medallion and take the lift down to that area. Now, I've been in this area one other time, so I really had no clue where I was going, and especially because I could not see. But eventually I found this little town area. I have never been to the Halig Tree, so that is going to require a YouTube video tutorial. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I would really appreciate if you would subscribe and watch the other parts of this video. But that's it for this one. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.